Day 14 brought the prompt that nearly broke my sanity and made the siren seem like child's play in comparison. Celestial. Therefore, I decided to try something I'd never tried, and that was an angel. Little did I know that this would end up being a decision that I would end up regretting majorly. Everything was going fine up until I got to the arms and couldn't really think of a specific pose I wanted. It took a bit for me to get the right arm correct, but ended up drawing her right hand too small due to it getting too late by the time I got to it. Unbeknownst to me, the arms were just the beginning because the next thing was by far the worst. Her wings. The amount of detail these things had to have eclipsed the siren's tail fin, and I truly thought that was impossible. God, was I wrong. These fucking things had to be hand-drawn one at a time and involved that lovely S word I just love so much. Symmetry. This took easily over an hour to do, and if you think for a second I was gonna do both sides by hand, you need some help. But just when I thought my nightmare was over with the feathers, I got hit with a double whammy. The stem details were worse, being the same pattern as the scales for the siren, and taking another hour to draw. 2 hours just for fucking wings. 2 hours! And it still wasn't over, but rather than making myself want to die, once the wings were done, I called it and went to bed to recover from that hell. The next morning, I woke up far too early and gave the piece a look over while having my coffee. I knew what was ahead, and thank God for my friend being an absolute Chad and joining me for the final steps. He really helped to speed things along and made it feel like less of a chore as I did the line art and added color. It was insanity having to go over each separate right feather twice. However, in the end, the insanity was worth it because they actually went from being feathers to daggers that she could protrude as a secondary weapon. Was it a lot of work? Yes. However, as I finished her up and looked at my creation, I felt a sense of accomplishment and relief. It was over, and I was happy with my art piece, unique in a way that didn't deviate too far from what she intended to be, and that to me was a great way to end week 2 of Inktober.